why? Why would you do this to the combine? What's up, lads? My name is John. This is Across the Board. Back again with another combine winners and losers. So for the combine, I'm going to break down day 3, the defensive linemen and the linebackers. The first winner from the defensive lineman for me was Justin Madubuike, I believe, the Texas A&M defensive lineman. He had a great 40. He killed that new pass rush drill, which was really, really cool. He showed a good change of direction. He was overall just one of the most impressive players from the defensive linemen at this combine. Same thing for Neville Gallimore. He showed really good bend, and as big as he was, I was really surprised with all of his drills. I didn't know too much with Neville Gallimore. I had seen a few games, so I kind of knew the name, so I was just kind of seeing, okay, I've seen that this kid was impressing in just a few games that I watched from him. Let me actually sit down and watch him. Thought he was really, really good. Davon Hamilton. Sometimes I feel, and I'll talk about another player in a second that's the same way, but sometimes I feel like I'm maybe, I try to be a little too critical or something of Ohio State players because I'm a Buckeye, but I thought Davon Hamilton really impressed. It's hard for me to know how those guys are gauged other than just looking at mock drafts. It's hard for me to know how they are seen to the rest of the pack. Because obviously Chase Young is number 1. He's obviously the best player in this draft. And though most people think so, I think it's more of a debate. I think also guys like Davon Hamilton, another player, get kind of just caught up with, you know, the insane talent of Ohio State, and some people don't talk about them as much. I think maybe, you know, Oklahoma, LSU, those type of schools deal with that. But I thought that Davon Hamilton really set himself apart from the rest of the group. Khalil Davis had an insane 40. It was really cool seeing Khalil and his twin brother there at the combine. I thought they both did well, both the Davis brothers. One player I saw that nobody was really talking about that I really liked was Chauncey Rivers from Mississippi State. I thought his footwork was super clean. I thought Alex Highsmith was really, really good too. Extremely fast. I think he's going to be a great outside linebacker. If I had one critique of him, I think that he could maybe be a little bit more technical. He kind of seemed a little all over the place. However, that's the same exact thing I said about TJ Watt when he got drafted to my Pittsburgh Steelers. I think TJ Watt proved me wrong. Also, Derek Taskuka, I think, I'm definitely butchering that name, from North Dakota State. I thought he did just basically everything well. I liked guys like Jabari Stanega. I liked Marlon Davidson. I liked Yetur Gross-Matos, Malcolm Roach. But also another player that nobody really talked about, I literally haven't seen like anyone talk about him at all, that I really liked was Kendall Coleman. I thought that he looked super clean and super smooth throughout every single drill, nearly. And nobody really acknowledged how well his footwork was, how well he just went through all the drills. So Kendall Coleman from Syracuse, I thought was impressive. I don't know why nobody's talking about him. Some of the losers, unfortunately. And it doesn't mean that they're bad players. It doesn't mean that they're not going to still be first round picks or something. It was just, I was a little disappointed in it from the expectations I had in, or just seeing how the other guys performed. And the first one, with that being said, is AJ Epinesa. I think that that's a very popular one right now to say as a loser. I don't think Epinesa is a bad player. I just think that there was people expecting more coming out of this combine. That's okay. It's okay to not absolutely kill this combine because you can go, hey, don't worry about the underwear Olympics. Go check my tape. I've watched AJ Epinesa's tape. I like AJ Epinesa. Did I think that top 10 was high and that was very rich for him? Yes. Do I still think top 15 is probably a little rich for him? Probably. But towards that later end of the first round to the end of the second round, I think is actually a great spot for AJ Epinesa. I think that sometimes players get hyped up to the combine and those guys slip. I was worried that AJ Epinesa was just going to be seen as like because he could have been put up into the top 5 to top 10 realm. I think AJ Epinesa is still a great player. I thought Darren Daniels struggled from Nebraska, and maybe that's also me being a little biased between just seeing the other defensive linemen from Nebraska do really well, the Davis brothers. So I didn't think that Daniels did as well, but maybe that's just me comparing them to the Davis brothers. I think that Kenny Willix, I was a little disappointed in. Just watching the rest, I didn't know much about him, but watching the rest of the guys compared to him, I thought that there was a clear discrepancy. But he did have a decent pass rush, but I just think that he just wasn't clean. I think another guy that I was a little low on was Trayvon Hill from Miami. But I'll say there was a lot of people saying that Derrick Brown was a loser in this, and I don't think so. I don't know if he's necessarily a winner, so I really didn't put him in my winners. But he had good pass rush. He was relatively quick for his size. I think that people were going crazy on the 3-cone drill. I mean, maybe Derrick Brown is a loser now because people aren't going to see him as a top 5 player. That's okay. There's only 5 players I can go in the top 5. I think that it was a genuine argument when there's going to be at least 2 quarterbacks taken and Chase Young taken, and then you have guys like Jeffrey Okudah and another player that we'll get to, and then all of the offensive linemen. It's okay to not be a top 5 player. It's okay to literally not go top 5. But I thought that Derrick Brown still looked very good, and I'd still easily draft him with a probably top 10 pick. Okay, let's get to the linebackers. And the linebacker, Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons is what? You did what? You ran a 4.39 with your 6'4"? No, that's actually not possible. Isaiah Simmons, why? Why would you do this to the combine? I don't understand why you hate everyone else. Are you that competitive? You can't let anybody else eat? Okay, that was rude. With that being said, Isaiah Simmons doesn't get the entire dub, okay? Some other players get to eat too. And with those players are Sean Bradley from Temple, Zach Braun from Wisconsin, Patrick Queen from LSU, even though he pulled a hamstring, but his 40 was still impressive, and Kenneth Murray, who also pulled his hamstring, incredibly impressive 40. Hearing a lot about Kenneth Murray, just how good of a leader he is. I was hearing that on the broadcast, and I had seen that from Oklahoma players. So I'm starting to get pretty high on Kenneth Murray. Also, Malik Harrison from Ohio State, he did what I thought he was going to do, but I think that I don't know if everyone thought that he was going to be that good. So I seen that some people were saying that he impressed. So kind of a winner, I guess, for Malik Harrison. That's what I expected from him because I know that he is a terrific player. And also Willie Gay Jr. Didn't know anything about him. He really impressed me. And for the losers, I would say it's probably Cale Garrett from Missouri. I think he ran a 4.92. And though it's not the end of the world to run that, when you were seeing how well the linemen were running, it was a little disappointing to see. He's probably going to just be a guy that's, maybe he should have been with the defensive lineman, but then again, he's only 240 pounds. Nick Coe was in this linebacking core from Auburn, weighing 280 pounds. Nick Coe, you should have been in with the defensive lineman. I think that you would have killed it. And then all the people are looking at your size and your speed compared to the other guys. It's not fair that Isaiah Simmons and Nick Coe are in the same category. All right, that should not be happening. But I thought Cale Garrett could have had a better time. When he's playing inside linebacker, I'm gonna want my inside linebackers to be a little faster. Now I'm gonna want that Devin Bush. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to cover tight ends when you're running a 4.92 because those tight ends are going to destroy you. I guess maybe another loser. It's really hard for me to call this guy a loser, but I guess sort of kind of a loser is Michael DeFinity. I even seen that, he tweeted out that he was not happy with his 40 time, and that's just one of those guys. Again, I keep reiterating on these videos, some of the guys that I see, like, they can still do pretty well in the drill, just something kind of disappointed, and I go, okay, let me go check the pro day, let me make sure that they retract what happened at the combine, and they're going to be fine. I think Michael DeFinity is probably one of those guys. Unfortunately, Kayvon Chason did not participate in the combine, and Josh Uche did not participate in the combine. So we'll have to wait to see those guys' pro day, which I'll still be excited for. But that's it. That's my list. If you guys have any more winners or losers from the combine, comment down below. I know I ran through a ton of defensive linemen, not a ton of linebackers, so I'd definitely love to hear your guys' linebacker insight from this and who you guys think really impressed. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm out.